What's up, everybody? You're watching / listening to the McAllister Hours. As always, I'm your host. And I am here outside, chilling, doing this intro. As always, make sure to like and subscribe to the podcast. I stole that from Tim Pool. Yeah, Tim Pool. I always get Tim Pool and Tim Dillon mixed up. Also, before, I guess, the one thing I want to sponsor, hope everybody checks out my EP, Lost in the City by McCreedon. Links can be below in the description. I put that out about a week and a half ago. So I'm doing that right now. Jesus. Having dogs, man. Having dogs is rough. Today on the podcast we had Jackson Place, longtime friend, comrade. I think I've known him for about I want to say 5 years. I think it's about right. I think I met him for 2017 maybe. 17, 18. I think we talked about this last time he was on the podcast because we couldn't remember. Because it's weird. We kind of come in and out of each other's lives, and recently we kind of reconnected, and obviously we did the episode. But I mean, I say it in the episode first, so I won't go into it too much. But this motherfucker's been there since the beginning. He's OG, and it was a great time to have him on per usual. And yeah, so I thought this would be like a good intro, just using the same positive vibe and energy that Jackson so regularly promotes in both his music and itself. So I thought I would do this for that. All right, without further ado, here's the episode, motherfuckers.
Yeah, what's up?
What's up? Jackson Place, everybody. He's been back, but we're in a new setup.
True.
You have been... I'm going to shout you out a little bit in the beginning, make you all nervous.
All right, let's go.
You've been a pretty big part of both the podcast and my music since the beginning. So to see you still hanging on, I remember our first episode we did where it was on the couch.
True.
And with the desk, it was really weird.
It was fun
setup. What's it? Who was the guy that was? Rodney, yeah.
LA.
His girl was asleep. That was funny.
Yeah, for sure. For real.
It's good shit, man. I remember when we were first getting to know each other, you actually were a big part of me, continuing hip hop. Because I remember just feeling really, not feeling any kind of love or praise or success or really getting anything out of my music.
True.
So I think it was the first time I performed. Actually, you encouraged me to continue to do that. So I don't know. I always have high thoughts of you. So I appreciate you being here today. It's a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, man. I'm glad I could encourage you, and I'm glad you're sticking with it. It's really something you got to practice if you enjoy it. Creation is just like that, so it's cool to see you continue, bro, for real.
Thank you. You definitely have a very positive vibe, and it radiates off you every time I see you.
I appreciate that. I try, everything that they don't see, I try and keep good vibes continuing, because we all go through things.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the passage of life.
Facts.
I saw you recently got some new equipment.
True.
For your studio. We've been talking. We might do some recording together or something. And you've mentioned that you're increasing and improving your studio. What have you been getting? What's been going on with that?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm really on my independent I'm on my independent sort of music grind because I really enjoy what the industry does, and I value that sort of sound quality. So I'm trying to tap in with my own sort of, my own sort of production, because I feel like I have the capability to do it. Knowledge is out there everywhere. I can learn every day, and it's just been a cool process to learn how to make beats, engineer, mix everything, and put out songs from beginning to end. It's pretty inspiring to do it myself. That's why I don't want to rely on anyone.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about this last episode. I've mentioned this several times. Like, that just seems to be where the industry's moving. It's like an independent. Not that this is you by any means, but like, any jackass can get a computer and a microphone and make something.
It's true.
Not to criticize anyone, but that's just it's different than NWA or whatever. Early days, 30, 40 years ago, where you had to rely on the record companies.
Yeah, true. I mean, the crazy thing we have nowadays at such a disposal is like the marketing and the knowledge. Because I don't know, I'm a real believer that as much as money as you put into like your studio or like your time going to the studio to pay the engineer, you should put that much money, $1,000 for the studio. I'd put $1,000 into marketing too, because then you're at your own disposal to put yourself out there as much as you want. People don't. I mean, I shouldn't say people don't. I myself feel like I could do better at doing that, and maybe other people feel the same.
I could too. Yeah, well, a lot of that's just cost.
Right.
Like,
right.
I don't know what the rate is for like whatever, like the Facebook and Instagram type of promoting stuff. I don't know. But that's it's probably more than a Netflix subscription or something.
I mean, it's actually really malleable, because there's kind of a cool. I've done it for a few posts here and there just to play with it and also kind of boost a little bit. But basically, you just make a decent post, some genuine to your page, and then you can boost it. And whether you're promoting your product or your project, whether you're just kind of promoting your vibes, you can. It shows up as a sponsored ad, so people know. So it's better to do it with things that you want, generally to be sold, so they can click more or shop now. But you can boost it for as little as $1 a day for 10 days. So pay $10.
That's not bad.
Yeah, you can control it every dollar of the way.
And you could probably even I don't know, time it out to be peak days of the week or peak hours or something like that.
Yeah,
spread it out.
Definitely. That's another thing of just the knowledge, though, because you got to really just kind of understand, what marketing for you and your niche needs. Because sometimes people will say 12 to 2 is a good time to do it. Sometimes 7 to 8 in the morning or 7 to 8 at night is a good time to do it. Just times that people are going to be on their downtime. Maybe on their phone more often than not, or at lunch on their breaks, stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really hard thing to really grasp and kind of figure out. I'm actually going to be taking a class in college about that very same thing, so maybe I'll learn.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it almost feels like not to I don't know. It almost feels like a scam in a way. You know what I mean? Like you're just you're pay the same corporate entities, you're just paying to hey, can you choose to give me a spot in what you decide. I don't know. That's probably me being negative, but
there's kind of loopholes around it too, because it's all about the algorithm, and that's what that boosting kind of does. You almost buy your way into the algorithm, and it does work a little bit. But then there's better ways to do it too, to where if you're active more, you're posting things that are could be a little more vague to your lifestyle, less daily. Daily things, but at the same time, just your story should be what you're doing every day, so people can kind of relate to you, see what you're on, and then your posts should be highlights, flag points, things that you want people to grasp of you for a while. You know what I mean? And 3 or 4 hashtags spaced out, they say, relevant to what you're putting out, or the timed posts, as well as even liking a bunch of other people's posts in the same hashtags.
Those are 2 of my problems, is I'm not active enough in the social media stuff, and I don't do anything during my day. So I don't have anything to share.
It's like that. I don't know. It's really just a lot of knowledge that is to be acquired. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and that is like the double-edged sword is like, talking against these corporations. It's also on the internet, which can be an amazing tool for an artist to figure out that kind of stuff. I know you and I have had the discussion where I'm in video production, but like there's a good chance that I could just learn all of that online for cheaper. I had a teacher who was, this entire class was just zooming other video tutorials that were, I would bet 9 times out of 10 chance that it was cheaper than the class that I paid for. Wow. And towards the end, maybe he offered a little bit more like hands-on tutorial and that kind of thing, but I don't know. It seems like that's almost a scam in a way. It's not, but like they really need to like figure out that disconnect.
Yeah, I feel you, man. It's crazy. We're in the age of information that anything that it's funny. You can find any answer to any question that you want on the internet, which is, like you said, kind of a double-edged sword as well. Because you can gain knowledge, but then you have to also source credibility heavily, especially in today's age. Because if you don't, then you can literally find an answer to a crazy, absurd question. That I think that's maybe where people have sort of gone down the rabbit hole with in the past and such.
Well, this is kind of going into a bigger thing, I guess, but like echo chambers.
Oh, true.
Because I guess that doesn't really have any relation to art. Sorry, I'm just going on a tangent there. But in the end, yes, you can find quite a bit of stuff online for what we do as musicians or artists or anything.
Right.
It's truly amazing the tools compared to what it was 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah, facts. It took them they would literally have to cut and chop samples by tape. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now we get to literally just push a button, quantize it within 16, slices on my quick sampler, and then put it up where I need to. I don't know. You just play it on my drum pad how I want. It's crazy.
Yeah. Or people would do rap sets purely by disc scratching.
Yeah, full MC.
That's insane.
That is dope too. I've done definitely live beat sessions where homies just play beats and then we get up on the stage and freestyle. That's really fun. It's also good practice too, especially with people that are on the stage trying to get live and enjoy themselves too. If it's a bunch of bums and the energy's dry, you can't do
it. Yeah, man. I performed recently a couple months ago.
Hell yeah.
And the people that showed up, it was great. I had a good time overall, but that was definitely toward the latter end of all the mandates ending. So I definitely understand what you're saying. Like performing for like kind of a group that just isn't that into it. It's just sparse. You look out in the crowd and you're like, oh, there aren't really that many people here. I'm kind of just, I'm just gonna do my own thing.
Yeah, that's kind of half the reason why I stopped performing as much, even before COVID, really, because it started to be this whole thing where it was like I was trying to pander to the crowds that would just go out and want to see something. And I respect that. I respect the grind. I'm not saying it's not a thing. You do have to do it to some point, but that's sort of like paying your dues. But at the same point, once you sort of know the music you can create and you know that putting yourself out there market-wise, that people will, quote-unquote, F with you, then it's just easier to put your own stuff out and then hope that you can link with people within the locations and venues that can really put yourself on. You know what I'm saying? Put your own shows out there. Because then you cater to your own niche crowd versus the tickets and people that someone else may have brought or you don't even know. And which, like we keep saying, it's a double-edged sword. People get to see you. New people get to find out about you. Can build your following. But at some point, you got to take over for yourself and put your shows under your own pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's kind of the stuff that I struggle with. And I think a lot of people struggle with is where do you start in that? How do you get to a point where you're performing?
Yeah. I'm still trying to break into it myself. I'm just speaking on what I believe and what I'm doing right now. I agree with you. I don't really know how either.
Well, I remember the first show I did, and we both did that. kind of that same thing, like pandering to the crowd. Like, excuse me, there were a lot of people there that were just there for the drinks,
Right.
and that's a lot of Iowa.
And yeah, that's just because I mean, this town is building for sure. This town is building music wise. I mean, even the skate park brought a lot of people to the city.
Yeah, I saw that. Here, I'm gonna make a note because I wanted to ask you about that.
Hell yeah.
Did you go to that thing?
Yeah, definitely.
How was that?
So I was there for like the 3 opening days that they let the locals skate, and then I went to the Do Tour for like a day and a half. I kind of missed the free passes the other days, but it was fun, man. A lot of cool interactions with all the pros, and it's crazy to see famous skateboarders in our city doing tricks on the skate park. We're gonna get to skate forever. You know what I mean?
Damn.
It's like, it's too surreal. You get there and you're like, this is not what? This is fake. This can't be real.
Fucking Iowa is down with the hippie skateboarders.
Man, we're not gonna get kicked out of everywhere now. We have somewhere to go.
Has that because I guess it's kind of, I wanted to talk about that later, you traveling, but like, I guess compared to other places, how's like the skateboarding here? How's it changed over the years? Like, have you had to deal with a lot of like, old people like, fuck you,
I mean, I don't know. I'm just one perspective on it, but if I would say myself, I think this town's becoming a lot more accepting of skateboards. And even then, we are pretty accepting already versus some cities.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely places that every single block you get to, they just get looked at weird because it's so foreign. There's not many people that do it. Especially, obviously, smaller towns,
Yeah.
And Des Moines kind of a small town, or a small city, big town sort of thing. So it kind of has that whole, like, the culture grows in its own way. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really organic here is what it feels like. That's kind of why the music is, I feel like, taking off, but slowly. You know what I mean? People are really talented here, but we don't know how to tap in yet. We're all learning how to.
Yeah.
Trying our hardest too, most of us.
I think it's going to take some time.
That's cool.
Before Des Moines gets there. Yeah, exactly. You want to do it right. Mm-hmm. You don't want to, it's like Detroit kind of. Like that's, it's old history, but like that was historically a city that like grew really fast. The Industrial Revolution just like, and then everybody knows that, it turned into, I think it's better now, but Eminem and all that wasn't a great place to live. But with skateboarding, when did you start doing that?
Oh, I mean, like, honestly, I've been skateboarding since I was like, I got my first skateboard when I was 8. I rode my cousins a lot before then too, even. But I really started taking it seriously by probably 11, like going into 6th grade, because just good transportation. All my friends were doing it too. I fell in love with actually riding it, and just as your kid, you just need something. So I just wanted to get better.
I missed the boat on the skateboarding, unfortunately. I
feel you.
I did enjoy the longboard a little bit.
True.
But I had a bad instance where I went down a hill too fast and the car was oncoming. And, yeah.
Glad you're okay. I've seen crazy stuff happen. I feel you.
Have you seen people what's like the worst injury you've probably seen?
Oh man, we were just having fun riding our our actual cruiser boards. I have a penny board, and they're like the smaller ones.
Okay.
Like almost like a banana board. But me and 2 buddies were riding around kind of his neighborhood. We were going down a really big hill. It was kind of later at night, and we were going to go home pretty soon. And my buddy was on one of the penny boards, and he's not as good at skating yet, but he knew how to like hold his own and get down the bottom of hills and stuff like that. Oops. But man, at the bottom of the hill there was like a left turn and a sand patch, and he hit the sand patch and flew about a street's worth, like flipping forward, and then he did the full flip, and as he continued the flip, hit his back on the curb, kind of did another somersault and a half, and then landed in the grass on the other side of the curb. And man, it was just scary to watch because we really thought he was gonna be just not be able to walk. He like flipped backwards into a curb type thing.
Did he sustain any major injuries?
Well, it was weird because the first thing he did was when he he bounced off his like knees and elbows. If that makes sense. And so like the main impact was like here and his knees. So it seemed like the he kind of saved himself with that and got mainly just road rash. But that's probably the worst fall I've ever seen in my life.
Damn.
Like personally.
Yeah. There are always those videos. I was watching a video the other day of some guy, or I guess it wasn't skateboarding. Have you heard like the thing where like people hang off their backs?
Like hooks and stuff?
Yeah, that weird, crazy shit. There was a guy who like climbed up a thing and like hung off it, and then like he landed and like his bottom God, I'm being an idiot right now. His shin split in half and like stuck out of his leg and all that. They have those horrible videos on the.
Yeah. You could find anything on the internet. Be careful, kids.
Yeah, literally. Oh, geez. Yeah. Well, it's good that you haven't seen like any like horrible injuries like that. I feel like if I was into skateboarding, I saw something like that would maybe think twice about. I don't know. Maybe put the board away.
Yeah, I don't think he skates much anymore. Not gonna lie. I've had some crazy falls, but the worst really was probably just like a really bad skin knee that turned into kind of like an infection that wouldn't go away.
Shit.
It took like 3 months to like heal. It was bad, but it happens.
This is gonna sound like a PG question or whatever, but have you ever like worn a helmet? Like do you was that something that you started out doing and then kind of just got comfortable without it ever?
Well, at like skate parks, like indoor skate parks, private ones that you pay to get into.
Oh,
you have to wear a helmet when you're under 18. And then as you're an adult, you can make your own choice. But
how it should be.
I think that's the only time I've ever worn a helmet skating. Not gonna lie, was at a park like that. I don't know. It always, as a kid, messed with me. Like I couldn't do it. I don't know. I should have, because I might have been more confident skating bigger things, especially if my head was protected.
Like those crazy. I always used to watch those as a kid. The crazy BMX shit.
Yeah.
Where the huge woo.
Oh, true. Yeah, or like even just like big half pipe skating that kids can do it really well sometimes because they've been training for years with a helmet and knee pads how to slide and fall and get the tricks they want done safely. You know?
That's I didn't even think about that. Like learning how to fall. That's probably a pretty important part.
It's so important. It's almost like the half of the battle with skateboarding, because if you don't, you're falling easily like more than you're landing your tricks if you're really trying to learn your tricks. I mean, I would say so. Some people are really consistent, once you get the trick down or whatever, but for the most part, you're just like trying to figure the trick out at first, and that's a lot of falling, or even just trying to push bigger tricks down bigger stairs and bigger obstacles. It's a lot of like being okay with falling, or just doing it, and then whatever happens during the motions either works or it doesn't. It's true. It's a weird battle of like fighting fear the whole time. Honestly, I see a lot of fearless skateboarders.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's the part I can't get past. Like, I don't like motorcycles. Like,
oh, true. You definitely have to have that extreme lifestyle and that extreme blood.
Yeah, like the desire for like a rush.
Adrenaline junkies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm content with just eating potato chips. And
see, I need a skater chick, man, because that would be fun.
A skater chick, you said?
Yeah, adrenaline junkie chick. That's all me.
That'd be a lot to keep up with, though.
I'm a lot to keep up with. Sorry.
Self-awareness is. So you recently traveled to both New York and Florida. How were your experiences with that? Looks like you have a good time.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to quote unquote date myself, if that makes sense. So I'm just trying to treat myself all year and just enjoy really everything. It's the first kind of summer that my whole schedule is kind of in my control, just with work being as malleable as it is with my father and such. I'm grateful for that. Anyway, point being, Florida was dope. New York was dope. I like New York a little more. New York's kind of very energetic, and that's a lot more me. But it was good to relax and just chill out in Florida for sure. I needed that too. So yeah, date yourself.
Treat yourself too.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I've been on vacation like that. Well, I've never been to Florida or New York, but
Yeah, life's short. You got to go while you can. You really never know what's going to happen. I don't know. It's kind of cliche, obviously, but it's true.
no, I mean, look, I mean, COVID. Not
Thank
to talk
you.
about this too much, but like that really taught. I think that taught me like, fuck, I need to like really do some shit. I'm trying to work as much as I can this summer, so I can have something that I can go somewhere with.
True. That's how I kind of feel too. I want to hopefully release enough music this year to get, more and more of a following as I continue to release music throughout the next couple years. And this year's kind of like the release the first singles, see what my hits are, and then make a couple albums based on that, because it's all trial and error.
Oh god damn, I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Did you do any music while you were up there?
Well, I mean, in Florida, I was just making beats because I had like 2 weeks in Florida. So I brought my, my MIDI drum pad and my computer. And I didn't do much, but I was definitely just like on downtime, playing around, seeing some creations. And then in New York, I was only there for 4 days. So we just brought our skateboards and clothes, took a bunch of pictures, and I did a really cool trick that was kind of a battle for me at one of a skate spots that is pretty known in the skate world.
Mm-hmm.
Columbus Square.
I think I've heard that term, that place.
It's fun. But yeah, it's cool. I really like traveling because you get to always experience a little bit of new perspective every time you go. And that's, I think important for a person to mature in life. If you don't get to see what other people are doing around, you kind of get stuck in your own bubble, your own comfortability, and you end up sort of not taking things as much of a blessing as they should be.
I feel attacked.
I don't mean you.
Just kidding.
I mean like anyone in general. I feel that's what happens to me especially. I'm only ever one to speak for myself, so I'm never talking directly to anyone like that. But I feel you.
Do you feel like you said you're making music? Do you feel like your location had an influence? And like, do you think you like had different music or had some kind of different information or inspiration from where you were?
I think definitely, because I really like a lot of New York trap and New York hip hop right now. Joey Badass has always been one of my favorite artists.
I've been really getting into him lately, actually.
Dude, he's a legend in my book. I don't know. Yeah, so for me going to New York and just seeing as much culture and diversity as they have, it's just so eye-opening and such a treat, really. Honestly, you just get to, I don't know, you get to experience so much in such a quick time that it's hard to even describe right now.
Yeah, like I feel like you would have to stay in New York for a significant amount of time to get everything out. I mean, that's for any city, but especially New York.
No, yeah, that city is just so dense with all the possibilities of, I guess, perspective and culture. Honestly, just there's so many people in such a small place, and ironically, in the small place that it is, it's so expansive. There's so many little nooks and crannies and things to do everywhere. It's crazy. It's obviously places you shouldn't go. But I mean, that depends on who you are, I guess.
If you see someone under in an alley giving themselves the vaccine, don't.
Yeah, no doubt. Dang, that's funny.
I'm sorry, I stole that from Mark Norman. So you have kind of always talked about like, wanting to relocate in the future and not necessarily live in Iowa. God damn, I'm gonna have a dry throat. I was actually just listening to your EP, your latest EP last night, and you have a verse like, "I want my children to have mountains" or something like that. What thoughts do you have about like relocating? Do you have any plans or any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the line is that you said, because I know what you're talking about.
I remember the children of mountains part. I don't.
One day. And one day I'll say peace to this town. It's nothing personal, but my kids deserve a mountain. And I'll be bouncing back here one day to build a jungle gym for all the kids to play. for innocent souls with happiness. Money never will control if we have bliss. Yeah, so basically, I'm trying to say, like, I want my kids to have a mountain, literally. You know, I want them to be able to see the mountains, if that's their thing, if they want to be in the mountains. But then I also want to give them a mountain of things, the world. You know what I mean? It's like a metaphor for being able to give them the enormity.
I see.
So, like, I just want to be able to provide everything, is what I'm saying. And to me, I have to leave, obviously, to find, you know, where to live. Obviously, to find who to live and how I'm going to pay for living there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or who to live there with, sorry, and then how I'm going to pay for living there. So, yeah, it's like, I'm on a single grind, but at the same time, I'm just learning about myself and always knowing I'll have a family one day.
Yeah, exactly. You know, people should really have patience. Honestly, something that I've struggled.
I feel. Me too.
But, you know, it is really important. It sounds cliche, but it really is, like, you know, the person will, like, you know, come and be there.
And, you know, unfortunately, I'm too nice for sure. I'm way too nice sometimes. Same. So I'll give my heart to someone without really noticing how much they're not feeling the same. And it's okay. You learn those lessons, and that's why I'm, you know, a lot better at just noticing what I need from somebody else and never settling for less right now. Because it's just, you know, it's not worth it. Don't want to waste no one's time.
That's key. You definitely don't want to settle for less in a relationship. Like, you don't want to, you gotta be aware of, like, red flags or things that, you know, might lead to.
This is turning into the View. Let's get back to music. You're right, though. I agree with what you're saying. I'm not trying to stop you, but.
No, you're good. That's actually a perfect segue. I'm gonna vote we take a little break here,
okay.
And then I do have questions about music, so we will get back to that. We are back, everybody. We were gonna talk about your music. You just released an EP, Forever Supported. Get into that. What? Who did the beats? What was the process making that?
So, almost a year and a half ago, kind of like August 2019. Maybe even, that's obviously longer than that. Me and a buddy named Midwest Matt, who you know, we kind of just picked out some beats and started organizing some of the writtens that I already had. Because I write sometimes just to clear my mind, and I'll write just poetry, you know, or lyrics that I think make sense rhythm-wise. And then they don't always work on some beats, or like I'll write it to that beat and then want to change a beat later. And then I'll have, you know, certain pages of writtens that are the same topic. So he kind of helped me at the time organize them onto beats and into songs. And then he got me in the studio. We sort of worked out a deal where I'd, you know, certain fee or pricing. And then over that time, it was kind of on me to just hit him up when I needed to record. And he helped me push a lot, honestly, at times that, you know, I probably spaced off a little more than probably needed. But yeah, basically it was just a learning process of seeing what I can do with music and, you know, putting my flows out there.
That's cool, man. You know, I can definitely tell that with that mixtape that you've improved your craft, and
thank you.
You know, it's, you know, like I was talking about kind of in the beginning, you know, I both know each other. We've seen each other both grow and progress. And it's cool to see that, you know, you're finally on Spotify and all that. It's good stuff, man.
Thank you. Yeah. I actually got a $2 payout from the dividends the last quarter, which it's nothing, because to me it doesn't seem like, you know, people are getting thousands. But if you think about it, Spotify takes how many plays to get like a dollar? So to me that was pretty cool. I don't know what the exact number is, but I know that Spotify is not the highest paying one, basically. No. The biggest, I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct, is Apple Music, and then Tidal is right behind that. So check me out, Apple Music, Jackson Place, Forever Supported.
Well, I'm just gonna stop sharing Spotify. I'd be like, all right, I don't have an iPhone, but go to
share
iTunes.
Them all. I mean, because realistically,
true,
it all helps, and I think Spotify is still even higher than YouTube. So You know, and then if you're working through a distribution company, you're released on everything anyways. So who knows where those dividends really came from? But it does show you if you look on the, you know, your statistics and whatnot.
Yeah, the artist, or I guess whatever.
It's like your quarterly analytics, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just switched to DistroKid. How'd you?
Yeah, same for right now. I was looking at United Masters. I was thinking about that. I don't know. Right now, I'm gonna stick with DistroKid. That's what's gonna work for me currently. If I find a different route, then I do, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, you know, it's the independent route. You know, just like we were talking about before. I think per play, it's like 0.08 of a cent.
True.
So yeah, you know, it's hard to compete. It's definitely harder to compete against, you know, the people who everybody listens to.
Which is crazy, because you could be the best rapper in the world and like not that many people notice you. Like literally, these melodic trap rappers who do have a lot of value. I listen to many people, so I mean I couldn't even say yes or no to this or that person. But basically, what I'm saying is you could have all the skill in the world and still not be paid your value, because the game has been bought and sold for so low right now. Like really, you have to work so hard to put maybe what you feel is like your best song, and maybe 100 other people do, out to 1,000 people. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's crazy.
That's the problem, is like the convenience of these streaming platforms has devalued music.
It has. And then that's another reason that the industries and labels are widely valuable, because they offered a lot of that, you know, widespread notice. They offer a lot of that sort of like less exclusiveness, or they offer that sort of like less inclusive route that you don't have to take. I'm sorry, I kind of said that weird, but like they offer a lot more availability into the market. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. That is the, you know, that's the positive. The one of the few positives about going that route is like you do kind of get that boost.
For real. And that's why you see a lot of like a lot of rappers, when they get really big and get a huge following, they make their own label. Like for instance, Travis Scott. Cactus Jack.
Know that.
Yeah, he made his own label, Cactus Jack. I believe, you know. I don't know. The independent thing though, the last tape I bought all my beats from independent producers or people that thankfully have also produced for a lot of big artists. I was able to get a beat from Piso, shout out Piso, and I was able to get a beat from JC Got It Bumpin', and Suedo Beats. So, you know, it's you got to credit those producers and pay them what they're supposed to for those beats. That's their job, you know, and it feels good when you do it and then put a tape out supporting yourself in them. You know what I mean?
So has it always, when you're going through that process, has it always been just the down payment, or do they ever expect like that if you get a certain percentage that you have to pay them from like what you get played?
Well, I'm sure that's definitely a route to take. If you definitely, you know, if a song blows up and you only got the standard lease, be a man. Pay the producer what they deserve for, you know, their credit. If you want the whole beat, get the exclusive rights, and you have to work with people. If you're not as big of an artist, they might not give you as big of a break on those exclusive rights price. But that's just how it goes. You got to work up in the game and pay your dues. I think that's really kind of what it is, you know?
Yeah, it's a fickle bitch.
But it is what it is. You know, if you love it, if you love spitting, if you love making music, if you love hip hop shit, then, you know, you got to keep pushing and just, like I said, pay those dues, because if you do, you're worth it, people will notice you. You just have to make sure you got that juice. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have like that juice, they're like, what is he doing here? Sorry, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Oh no, dude, we're uncensored. It's all good.
Cool.
But yeah, there's shit. I lost my train of thought. God damn it.
It be happening.
It be happening, man.
Shout out to a lot of
Yep. Your album cover, Jack's Bar. That was on the cover. What's the significance to that for you?
Well, mainly the album is called Forever Supported, and it's its message and the songs on it mainly mean to me, like, I'm forever supporting those that have forever supported me. And if I see some real loyalty within people that I continue to interact with and grow, then I will forever support them as well. It's also a thing, like, I forever support myself and my energy and what I choose to put out. And then that picture itself was taken with my mom before I was 1 year old in San Francisco. And yeah, I don't know. My mom has had my baby brother in her tummy, like, right before she was even showing. And, you know, she's holding me in front of the bar of the kid that she just had named Jack. So it was cool for her. And then, you know, whatever, 22 years later, that kid then puts out an album with her on the cover. I don't know. I felt right. You know, I'm forever supported. That's my mom. You know what I mean? She's always been there for me, too. She's always been one to be like, you know, fuck your music, fuck your skateboarding. Your brain is dope. Like, just continue. You got this. You know, like, she's just such a cool person.
That's awesome, man. That's
Shout out, Mom. Love you.
You know, and that's something that's always been evident with you is, like, you definitely have, like, not that we need to get too deep into all that, but, like, you definitely have, like, a base of people that, like, you know, I can just tell that there's a lot of energy there, you know.
True. I mean, we don't have don't have anything if you don't have, like, 5 or 6 solid people that you can really talk to and count on. You know, that's how I feel, for real. Family, you know, my brother, my mom, and my dad, and my grandma have always been those people right now. And then we have a pretty big family, too, and I love everyone. Not everyone's around as often, whether it's us or them, but in general, if you don't have those people in life, like whether your friends or your family, to support you, it's hard. People just get crazy, you know, just kind of feel boxed in and alone. Even in a world full of people.
Yeah.
So
yeah, where it's definitely it can be a lonely world for a lot of people.
Yeah.
How's your family receptive to your music? Do they all like it?
I mean, they definitely are really supportive, for sure. Like, you know, they forever support me.
Yeah.
Hashtag. But the main thing is that, like, not everyone's gonna find value in what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to accept that. So, like, my family, namelessly, not everyone supported me, like, maybe even the lyrics that I choose to be relevant for my life, or, like, my lifestyle, such as herbally or whatever. And so it has had some backlash, but for the most part, it's been all love. You know what I mean? It's been all support, and they know that I'm going to do what I want to do and be successful at it.
That's awesome, man.
So
that's awesome that you got that.
Really grateful for it, honestly.
Yeah. You know, not everybody can say that they have parents and family that are, you know, like you said, like, no matter what you do, they're going to entrust that you're doing, you know, what's best for you, and they're supportive of that.
Yeah, not to say they won't call me on my bullshit, but, you know, like...
Well, that's good, too. They can't just entirely be like, all right, we'll give you, $10,000.
Yeah. No, they don't give... No, that's all me. Yeah, they don't give me no money. That's not like that. Yeah. I hear what you're saying, though. But, no, yeah, they, you know, if I have people that will, like, you know, check me on my shit if I need to. If I'm falling off a certain way here or there, then, you know, they'll be the first person to say, hey, I noticed you could do better. You know what I mean? Like, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's important to have that balance.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like having a mentor or something. You
right.
know, they give you a certain amount of care and love, but they're also gonna, you know, discipline you in a way and be like, hey, like, you gotta, like, this is the way you gotta do this.
Right.
You know.
And then another thing, like, that forever supported, I forever support myself too, to where I'm gonna forever check myself too. That's important too. Like, learn not only to accept what people help give you advice upon, but then maybe also be good at checking yourself too before sometimes that advice is needed, you know? Because if people aren't around, if you don't have anybody, then who else do you have but yourself to check yourself? You know what I mean? And sometimes, even as support as we are, sometimes there is no one around. So it's important.
Yeah. And, you know, if you don't necessarily have family for some reason, like, find friends. Find core friends.
Right.
And, you know, it's hard this day and age with COVID, and even though it's letting up, and, you know, the fact that everybody's kind of glued in their social media, but, you know, if you can do it, like, don't be nervous. Like, try to be friends with people.
Yeah, I mean, just putting yourself out there in like
Exactly.
like-minded, areas and situations helps meet new people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually how we met.
Yeah.
Was just putting ourselves out there, and we both saw each other out and about doing our thing. So it just goes to show that, it's just part of it. You have to take that little bit of leap of faith and, try and interact.
Exactly. Yeah. Putting yourself out there will, if you do it in the right way, it'll attract the right people.
Right.
One of the last things I want to talk about, a big theme in your, you have a lot to say in your music. A big theme of your music has always been your, like your spirituality and just kind of like what we were talking about earlier, like your positive, positive energy. Not to get too personal, but like, what are like some of your beliefs and how does that play a part in your music?
I mean, like, I'm not technically religious. I don't follow a specific religion. I'd say I follow my spirit and my heart. But there's a saying that I've lived by for a while that's like, there's nothing physical or mental that isn't also spiritual. In other words, I'm not trying to separate everything, if that makes sense. Like, basically, I kind of believe that just like the essence you choose to put out is always going to be what you're obviously getting back. So it's important to be that person to check yourself every day, and then you're able to put out that good energy. And it's weird to say, but it's cliche at the same time. You will get that energy back. So I don't know. My whole thing in my music is just trying to be honest with myself and the lessons I learn in life, and maybe share the silver lining that got me through some of the darker times. Because I always end up bringing up some, deeper shit that it was on my mind. That's why I got it out on the notebook. That's why I got it out my head. Because that's one of the things I use to cope with this. So, it's a cool process of, just learning myself and learning how the world works with me in it. It's cool. Yeah.
No, and like I said, I think it's really good that you have all that positive energy. So how do you deal with how do you deal with and cope with like negativity? The times where you kind of mentioned it, but like the times where like you're just you're down and things aren't going right.
I mean, the thing that helps mainly right now is, well, definitely talking to someone if there's something that will not just get off my mind. You just have to talk to somebody sometime. And hopefully it's one of those core people you trust, because then they can give you the best advice most of the time, or maybe not any advice at all, just let you vent. I don't know. Another thing that really helps, obviously, is some, little herbal medicine. But like I said, too, the writing thing, sometimes when I'm really caught up on a subject, it helps to put on maybe a beat that I've made or someone else has made, even to get the topic out, and then kind of stick on the topic and, write some lyrics and some poetry to that, because, once you get it out, then you get it out. And you can even, like, burn that page or, whatever you want to do, You don't have to use it. That's the cool part. But that helps me. I don't know. I be driving in my car a lot. I be listening to music by myself. Another thing, skateboarding. If I'm active on my skateboard every day, my mind is so much calmer, like, especially for the rest of the day, like, afterwards. So try and stay active.
Yeah. Exercise is key.
Yeah.
Or, just getting out, getting that vitamin.
Work out, too. I work out.
Well, that's one of the beautiful things about hip hop, is I feel like it's almost like a form of like journaling or like self-therapy.
It can be, for sure. It's the best. And to me, that's why hip hop and rap is the best genre, because you can, like you said, just self-journal.
Yeah. I usually tend to take a more negative approach.
That's okay. It's your music.
Exactly. Fuck the haters.
Seriously. It's good to listen to them, because then you got them. If you don't have them, then you're not doing something right.
That's true. It's kind of funny with this podcast. Like, I almost get excited when I get this, like, because I mean, somebody's like, it's right. It's kind of the sad thing about the internet, but like conflict, like rises to the top in the internet.
It
Like,
does.
I wouldn't like engage with the person in the comments or anything like that. But it's just kind of funny to see people like watch it and they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it," or whatever. Like, fuck you.
Like, what did you just say?
I didn't like this. It's not that good.
Right.
But everybody's gonna have their opinion.
Yeah, I'm on this whole. I would rather eat a pot of water with a fork than care if anybody likes me.
If you are doing any of this for, to gain, to gain fame or notoriety or have everybody like your shit, you're in the wrong. You're in the wrong venue.
I mean, there's such thing as glory. People can take it. That's cool. They can have their fun, but there's a real talent sometimes that is required depending on where you ask for your glory.
Hell yeah. Jackson Place. This seems like a good place to end it.
Got you.
How can people find you? What's all your info?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Forever Supported, one word. Facebook, Jackson Place. Jackson B Place also is my music page. Go and like that. I'm on every platform streaming wise. Jackson Place, Forever Supported. Appreciate y'all.
Hell yeah. And you have new music coming up pretty soon, you said, right? So
I'm working on it. Yes, definitely. I want to release with my beats, so
Okay.
I'm trying to.
sorry, I didn't want to like pre-release anything.
No, you're good.
Pre-announce anything.
Y'all will hear something. It's probably
Yes.
going to be some singles. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. You got some shit cooking per usual.
Oh yeah,
It's been a pleasure, man.
definitely, bro.
All right. Peace, everybody. Have a good one.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning into today's episode with Jackson Place. Hell of a time. He's quite a character. We had some good conversation. I feel bad. I feel like I went on one too many tangents, maybe. But I think it was good content. I think it was a good episode. So, stay tuned. Next week we're gonna have G7 and Hondro bands both back on the podcast together. Yeah, that's right. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm pretty sure it's the case. So make sure to check that out. That will be. I know we kind of did upload instead of live. Usually I'm pretty good about keeping the stream, but I got an extra day off of work. It's Memorial Day. I was like, I need 2 days off, man. I've been going nonstop since I moved in 7 days a week. I need fucking 2 days off. So, and Jackson actually was, no, he didn't say in the podcast. He's going to Denver for Memorial Day. So, we thought maybe we would do this in the middle of the week. So that worked out. All right, everybody. Hope you all been chilling, smoking, drinking. You know what we doing. All right, everybody. Peace.